Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today with me and the team. Welcome to Jeff's IEP. First line of business, I'd like to go over just some agreements that we can look at on the board here, and these agreements will kind of guide us through our meeting today, and I will read them out for us. This is a positive and collaborative endeavor where all views are equally respected and positive intent is assumed. Participate with a sense of faith in each other's competence. Meetings will begin and end on time, and any further discussions may require another meeting to be scheduled. To consider all ideas and concerns, we commit to listening with an open mind and not interjecting over each other. The process to gain the floor is to raise your hand, and I will let you know when it's your turn to speak. Consensus decision is making is sought, but dissenting opinions will be noted in a prior written notice. What I like to tell parents about this is essentially what I'm saying is that every decision that we make in this meeting today will be a team-based decision. Any dissenting opinions will be noted in a prior written notice. And lastly, please refrain from using any language that may be deemed as defensive. Okay, so now that we have those agreements, I just need a thumbs up, some sort of affirmation, letting me know that we're all comfortable with abiding by these agreements as we move forward. Perfect. Thank you. So next line of businesses, I would like to have introductions, please. So at this time, I would have parents go first and introduce themselves. I would have any supporting staff, such as assistant principal, our LEA representative, that's an assistant principal, and any general education teachers that are present in the room. And then I would then also introduce myself. What I would say is, and my name is Chase Greenhouse Pasinger, and I am Jeff's case manager here at Skyline High School. Okay, so next I would like to go over the meeting agenda, and then I would just kind of give them point by point what the meeting agenda is and what we're kind of going over. In my IEPs, I typically am going to go over student strengths, challenges, and concerns, which includes letting mom go first, dad go first, parent, whoever is present, go first, and then also allowing time for all team members to be able to speak through to what they have seen from a student. We'll go over the draft IEP that I have written and submitted 5 days prior. In addition to that, we'll go over educational services and supports, which is basically the students' SDI minutes, especially design instruction minutes, and where those are going to be served, how they're going to be served, etc. Assessments, accommodations, and modifications, and then any other additional pieces such as transportation, service planning documents, and extended ESY, extended school year, if it's applicable. After that, that's essentially where I would end the introductions. I kind of went over the three major parts of my introductions, which were again agreements, setting them so that we understand, how we're going to operate for the meeting. Number two, introduction, so that we know what all team members are present in the room, and then number three, going over a meeting agenda. So now, kind of looking at the topic of, reflecting on, I think it's supposed to be a mock IEP, and I am just going to kind of feed off of my personal experience. I've been lucky enough this year to be able to run, I think I've had 24 successfully completed IEP meetings that I am running myself since the beginning of the year. Under the tutelage of my mentor teacher. So just kind of answering some of the questions that are present here for the video. The first question that it asks is, let's see, self assessment. So the first part of this is I feel like I'm highly successful in this realm. My interpersonal skills will always carry me through. Um, I'm always very charismatic. I'm very patient. I try to hear from every team member. I'm very professional, very well put together. I'm always prepared for my meetings. So I think that goes a long way. I think overall, if I had to say where I was, on a grading scale, I'd probably give myself a B, B plus, and this is my area of strength just because of my interpersonal skills. Essential for grow, for growth. Um, I think documentation is something that I'm learning. I've gotten much better at documenting data, presenting data, but really, what the biggest challenge that I've had in speaking directly about IEP meetings is just little mistakes that you notice. We work off a PowerPoint, misspelt names, or a teacher's wrong, or a goal was labeled behavior and it was social emotional learning or whatever. So those are pieces that I think I've grown in, but still something that I'm always really looking for to get better at. Handling meetings and I kind of spoke about the norms, but I'll get a little bit more into it. I think I run a very tight meeting, very professional. Try to give everybody time to speak and to offer their perspective and expertise. I'm really more of a facilitator. At times, I will offer my opinion if I feel strongly about some data that I have or a recommendation. But really, the introduction pieces aren't my time to shine. It's really to kind of emphasize the student's strength and the challenges that mom and dad are having, and to hear them out, and that we can address those throughout the rest of the IEP meeting. Let's see, such as effective communication. It's always just being respectful, hearing people's perspectives. It's essential, and collaborating. I mean, I've been in meetings where a handful of them where people don't agree with my assessment or my recommendations. And, I always lean on the fact that it's a team decision. And as a team, we'll make it. And it's not really about me, it's always about the student. Agendas, typically the agendas are handled, as I was saying earlier, in the PowerPoint. But if it's an in person meeting, I would have the IEP draft printed out. I would have an agenda with essentially what I discussed earlier on it, with a pen or pencil on top of it before the room, with the PowerPoint kind of up, ready to rock and roll. Meeting notes, talk about that, recognize area, further development, and articulate specific needs. Yeah, I think additional guidance. I'm always seeking guidance. I'm lucky enough to have my mentor Jane. She's amazing, and we're constantly collaborating and talking. Um, and I think that I'm very lucky to be in the situation I'm in. I don't have a traditional student teaching experience where I'm there a few days a week. I have, maybe one or two classes or one or two class periods, because I'm a high school teacher, where I'm teaching and responsible for the instruction. This year, I've had the ability, as a student teacher, to get paid, one, but two, to function solely and fully as an IEP case manager, special education teacher, also running my own classroom since the beginning of the year. I teach guided studies, and I teach Read Write Lab, which is our special education reading and writing a resource class. So super lucky to have this experience, but that's essentially how I would go about the process. Alrighty, well, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye.